Hey everyone, it's George here. Today I'm going to teach you how to forage and make pine needle tea. Now, pine needle tea is one of my favourite teas to drink. It's totally accessible for people all over the world, especially here in the UK. Pine needle trees grow everywhere. So if you'd like to know how to make it, how to brew it, why it's good for you, why you should be drinking it, then follow along for the journey. Now, I'm not going to find any pine needle trees out here, so we're going to have to go into the deeper, darker, denser wood to grab us some pine needles. Let's go. So here's a great example of what you don't want. So although this is a pine tree and these are pine needles, you can see that they're very small needles, a bit like a Christmas tree, right? You don't want to drink these because they'll upset your stomach. The pine needles that you need to look for are the long pine needles. So we're going to have to go a little bit deeper into the forest to find those. But it's a beautiful sunset, beautiful evening. The light has kind of gone from the woods now, and it always gets a little bit more eerie, a little bit creepy. But do you know what? I love it. Let's go. Okay, so it's the next day. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to be cutting up the pine needles. I've got them right here, and I've taken them off the branch. Now, what I like to do first is I soak them or I rinse them just to get any debris off, like cobwebs and dust. And then I pull the needles off of the branch itself, just like this. So you can just use the needles as they are and put them in a cup of hot water and then drink the tea as it is, and it tastes great. But what I like to do is I actually like to cut them up into small pieces, and this helps to release the juices that are inside these that have all the medicinal benefits. So here's what I do. I place them down and I literally just take a nice sharp knife and I cut them up into as many pieces as possible. Okay, once that's done, I gather up the pieces and I will boil some distilled water. So once your water has boiled, I take it off the hob for a few minutes and then I add the needles in and let it brew for about 15 minutes. And that is how you make pine needle tea from the pine tree king himself. How cool is that though? We've got 5 pine cones still attached to the branch, and this was just on the floor. It's awesome. I love the green colour it turns. Don't know if you can see that. Ooh, spilling it. It honestly tastes just like pine. When you cut up the pine needles, I want you to just take a deep breath, like smell them. And they smell amazing. They smell so medicinal and healthy and fresh. I love it. So why should you be drinking pine needle tea like I do every single day? Well, to be honest, it's one of those ones where it is just good for you. It's just good for you. It's been used for tens of thousands of years, like literally thousands and thousands of years, like if you look into it, for its medicinal purposes. So it has literally been used as a medicine for a long, long time. So the reason it was used as a medicine is because it's really good at boosting your immune system naturally, because it's got a whole bunch of antioxidants and healthy things in there to make you as strong as you can be. Now, pine needles contain a lot of vitamin C, and I think most people think they get enough vitamin C on a daily basis because they eat like an orange or whatever. But actually, vitamin C capsules that are sold in health food shops sell like crazy because a lot of people don't get enough vitamin C. So this is a great way to get in a lot of vitamin C, and it actually contains more vitamin C than certain fruits. This has actually been used as a treatment for scurvy. So that just shows how much vitamin C is in it. It's also got a lot of vitamin A, and vitamin A is responsible for having good eyesight. And again, lots of people have bad eyesight. Now, there's another thing that you can do for your eyesight if you're worried about that or whatever. If you go out into the downs or a nice long walk, if you actually look into the distance and look at things far away, that has been proven to help with your eyesight. So when we're looking at screens all day, it's not actually the screen that's bad for you, it's because you're looking right at the screen super close when actually you want to look far away into the distance. That can also help your eyesight. Don't know why I went off on a tangent then. But also, this tea, pine needle tea, is really going to help with your eyesight because it is full of vitamin A. It's also going to help with your hair health and your nail health, okay? Luckily, I've still got a full set of hair, I've got no grey hairs, my hair's very thick and healthy, I eat healthy, I'm fitness, all of that. But I do drink this every day, and I really do think it helps. It tastes mighty fine. Can't wait for you to try this. It's very good for your heart health. It's also got something in it called shikimic acid. Yeah, I know, try and say that one, shikimic acid. And this is an antidote that they use in medicine for fighting certain illnesses. So you can look into shikimic acid and its benefits, but this is where you get it from. You get it from nature, not just pharmaceutical pills. It's also really good for healing. So, you know, if you get a cut, you heal. There are some people who heal quicker than others. You might know someone who they might get a little bump and then a bruise comes up straight away. Or there are certain people who when they get cut, they just bleed and bleed and bleed. They don't seem to heal very effectively. Well, the great thing about the tea is that it increases the red blood cell production in your body. And this is gonna be responsible for healing. So if you wanna heal faster, drink the tea. And then, I mean, you can literally Google the rest yourself. It's endless. I was gonna write out a list and just read them off, but it is one of those things where in nature, it's either good for you or bad for you. There's no sort of in between. Whereas, you know, with these pine needles, they're just good for you. They're just gonna boost your immunity. They're gonna help you fight off disease. They're gonna give you a ton of vitamins and minerals. And they're really, really healthy for you. So if you suffer from colds and flus and things like that, then it's best to drink this as often as you can. The only one thing I will say is that if you're currently pregnant, it's best to avoid this because there are such high levels of vitamin A and C that it can actually be toxic for the baby. I know it's one of those weird things that we're not really taught about, but if you've got tiny, tiny little baby growing inside you and you're getting like an abundance, like you can actually have too much. You know, they always say you can't have too much of a good thing. Well, in this case, you can. So before I shoot off, I just want to show you what pine needle drink you may or may not be consuming. So when you find a pine tree, you saw the needles off or the branch off, and then if you look at the needles and you pick one off, now you've got the little stem bit there, the sprout, right? Now you can see that there's 3 needles coming out of it. Can you see that? Yeah, so you've got 3 here. Now if it's 3, it means it's a yellow pine tree. Now if you've got just 2 coming out, then that's going to be your red pine tree. And if you've got 5, then it's a white pine tree. Now, all of those are completely safe to drink. So you're looking for the long ones. So remember earlier in the video, I showed you those really tiny little needles, like the Christmas tree pine tree. Don't drink those, avoid those. So if they've just got 1 coming out, avoid them. But if they've got 3 like this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you know, if they've got 3 coming out, then that's completely fine. So I hope you learned something today. I hope you go out and start foraging some pine needles. Just don't take too much, allow some for the next person and allow the tree to actually flourish and keep growing. Very, very delicious, very, very nutritious, and I wish you nothing but good health. Till next time, guys, catch you later.